Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can get some audio coming through on YouTube. There we go. All right, we're good now. Okay, so March 18th, 2021, Engineering the Markets. My name is Jared. Let's get going. Okay. Market was anticipating information from the FOMC meeting yesterday. So we obviously had a known binary catalyst that the market was going to respond either positively or negatively to. And so far, after that meeting, there wasn't a lot of adjustment to what's currently already taking place. They held a lot of things steady. They didn't see a lot of concern with the current yield curve and some of the rising interest rate on short-term notes. So the market anticipated at least maybe a slight adjustment, but overall we didn't get any action taken, and therefore it looks as if there was a positive reaction. Daily obviously looking strong on the SPY. We actually saw a little increase in volume after that announcement was placed, as more market participants came in after the meeting. We're seeing what could be considered sort of a breakthrough bar, engulfing bar. We are at highs, but we are breaking through a lot of the area from the past couple of sessions. However, when we dig into our lower time frames, the pre-market right now is giving a little bit of pause as we are fading from those highs. So the daily chart's not really showing the pre-market, and obviously we're seeing a little bit of, I would say, a fade, just a pullback into what was yesterday a relatively strong rally. So given that the market and the SPY itself put in essentially a launch point after the FOMC meeting notes came out and after the reaction of what was said by Jerome Powell, I want to see the SPY hold where we launched from yesterday. So we had a really strong reaction, but now we're fading it. I want to see the market basically say that this is the lowest point that we will go from this point forward. And while we continuously creep to all-time highs, and there's a lot of technical strength in this market, and we've seen it a lot in previous sessions, we've gotten past what was essentially a turning point that the market was waiting for, and can they hold this area? So for me, one of the most important numbers is essentially 393.50 on the SPY. Short term, I want to see the market hold this area, and obviously they can pull back, they can rest from what was a great trend in the afternoon session yesterday. But from there, can we basically, continue higher? If the reaction was good, prove it to me now. Show me that you can go and test 400, go and test the top of the channel, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, beyond that, I mean, everything from a technical point of view is looking strong. Moving averages are all sitting below us. They're all in the correct order. We did see a little bit of a bullish volume increase on that announcement, and that got us through the recent all-time highs. Once again, we are resting back around that area, so I want to see them launch from here if we're going to be bullish. Let's see, any concern over the past 30 days with volume? Volume still sitting at 390. So, we are holding these upper areas, but now I want to see value get placed higher and higher. And this has always been the cautious bearish thesis that I've been placing in the SPY, is that if we are moving higher, value needs to go higher. And if it can't, the market will naturally sort of gravitate back towards value, and it'll be very difficult to just explode from here, explode higher. 10-day, 30-minute intraday looks like we're sitting at VPOC over the past 10 days, 393.96, so we'll call it 394. The consolidation that we put in yesterday while the market waited for that announcement was very tight, and I'm not surprised to see VPOC near that point because the market was basically oscillating back and forth, equal amount of buyers and sellers, and putting a lot of value in this area. We are pulling back to it, and that can be our back test. That is essentially what the market needs to prove to me and pretty much everyone today, is that if this was anticipation, if this was the reaction, is this the back test? If so, go higher. If not, lose this and then bring us back to 390, which is larger value over the past 30 days. And that's kind of what I'm playing with over the next probably 2 sessions is, can you hold this area? If you can't, 390 is the target. You know, if we fall through, I'm looking at 390. That's pretty much it for the SPY. So let's go to the Qs. Take this off. Need to have a way to switch that easier. Qs, fairly positive reaction as well. Nice candle, nice structure, nice volume. So everything on daily looking good, but what's the problem? We still have not gotten above 325. If the market was strong yesterday, they should have broken through 325. Sorry. If this was truly strong, I wanted to see that breakout, and we just haven't gotten it yet. So when we dig into what's happening in pre-market, you can see that not only, very similar to the SPY, we faded pretty much all the gains from yesterday, and we are back pretty much at the launch point from yesterday's meeting. So as I reiterate, 325, this top resistance area, if we're gonna break out of it, it's gonna be convincing. It has to be convincing to really get going. Otherwise, we are just trapped between 310, 311, and 324, 325. It can be very difficult to get directionality until this happens. You'll get really strong moves higher, really strong fades lower, and that chop, that consolidation will continue until something else occurs. We are also somewhat trapped between the 200 and we'll call it the 20 moving averages in the 4-hour time frame. And the thesis here is that this could offer some tightening range as this market continues to oscillate or consolidate or tighten its range. Volume profile, we're actually sitting at VPOC over the past 30 days, which is 316.7. Similar thesis to the SPY. If this was a positive reaction and not just an overblown sort of, repositioning, then the market should be able to not only hold this area, but move higher from it. And I'm okay with the back test. I'm okay that we faded all the way back down, but now show us that you are strong. And if you can't, the next spot that I'm targeting is back at the low end of the range. We're in the middle of the range, so it's a little, it's less, I'll say less of a risk to reward. There's less opportunity than something like the SPY, but if you're gonna go higher, do it from here. If you're gonna go lower, you're gonna back test your low end of the range. And 10-day, 30-minute, over the past 10 days, VPOC really hasn't moved. It's back at that lower end of the range. So higher time frame perspective, more important. 316 roughly, yesterday sort of tight consolidation. That's more important to me. It can easily move higher from there. But over the past 10 days, value has really not shifted too much higher. And therefore, if we lose the higher time frame VPOC, the lower time frame VPOC becomes the target. And that's, the thesis if we were to break down. Otherwise, if we break higher, we kind of know 325 is the ultimate top end resistance that we're looking at. Okay, IWM, bring it back to the daily. We did see a pullback on Tuesday session, and then we saw sort of that same, reactionary bullish sort of push into the afternoon session yesterday. We did close back above the previous all-time highs. So structurally, this one has a lot going for it. And that pullback was, I would say, not only necessary, but also somewhat expected because of some of the pockets of value that we saw in the shorter time frames. The pullback to 227.50 was the target if we couldn't just keep continuously trend on the daily. So that pullback was fine. I think it structurally probably provided some opportunity. And now, very similar to all these other markets, can they hold? 180-day 4-hour, we pulled back to the 50. This 227.50 area was very important for the IWM to find support. It looks like we did find some amount of support, and we're making what some could argue is like an ABCD sort of pattern. We found a deeper pullback. We bounced pretty hard. And then now all-time high, it kind of looks like we might find some support here. Obviously, other indices will give us some clues. If all markets are strong, this could easily be the strongest of the markets. But from a technical point of view, just on IWM, there's a lot of good technicals coming from this perspective. So 30-day 1-hour volume profile 226.2. The pullback close to that area, I think value was sitting a little higher, maybe in the shorter time frames, but overall we're sitting above the value range, more bullish of a look than the other indices. And you can see that we did start to fill in some of those pockets, which structurally helps out with the long-term trend that you're trying to build in a bullish or a bearish thesis. You want to repair areas of low value and then continue in the direction that you've already set. And 10-day 30-minute VPOC is moving higher. We're sitting at 231.5 for VPOC. Overall, structurally, I think IWM has some of the best opportunity to the bullish side. And really, we just want to see, can they find support at previous all-time highs? Very clear sort of double top. We broke through it. We had to pull back a little deeper, and then we exploded back through it again. We'll kind of see if this ABCD forms itself over the next couple days. 1 second. Okay. So always kind of want to take a glance at the 10-year and the 30-year yields. I'm going to bring it to this perspective. So we're showing a high of 1.68 from the percentage of the 10-year. We still have a lot of work to do in terms of a pullback, but there is, at least temporarily, a look of maybe a short-term top being put in. We'd love to see a pullback here in terms of tech getting strong, but financials are obviously loving the increased yields and the widening spread of the 10-year versus 20 and 30. And that can be seen on the TYX as well. The TYX being the 30-year. Bring it down. So look, 24.63 is going to be our high. And this is a relative high. There are some points of resistance back in time. But overall, the look here, we'd want to see this pullback to help out with some of the tech breakouts. And then the pullback here might hurt financials in the short term, but the balancing act of tech picking up the weight of financials could easily be the thesis for the SPY to go higher and for the QQQs to break out. And then we are seeing a little uptick in volatility. You can see that the VIX is elevated this morning, and we did have a little bit of an uptick yesterday as market participants were likely preparing for the announcement. If you bring it down into this short-term perspective, really, I mean, we're seeing very little movement down at these low points, but it is just worth noting that we are at support areas, and the VIX could see, you know, sort of a lower high uptick over the next couple days. Usually this would be an area to consider hedging if you use volatility as a hedge, as volatility is pretty compressed at the moment. I was also seeing if there's any pattern structure here. The only thing I really saw with these falling wedges, but from a technical perspective, a falling wedge typically can break bullish or bearish, and the bullish breakouts have to have confirmation. So you can see, you know, I could draw it this way. We broke out, quote unquote, and then we faded. And then if I extend it to this perspective, we broke out and then we faded. So I don't really like using falling wedges too much, because something like an index that has one, you won't really see volume confirmation, and you kind of need an area of confluence for it to actually matter. But it is notable. It's probably the only thing I really see technically that was worth mentioning. So let's go ahead and delete that and just look at horizontal levels for now. And just, you know, the fact that we did fill this gap, and we're pretty much at some of the lowest points since we had the market crash. I think actually now we're looking at this guy. This is a full gap fill, which we haven't done yet. Okay. Some areas of interest. I would like to just kind of run through some of the big tech slash big holdings in NASDAQ and SPY, just to get a sense of, was that reaction felt across some of the major market cap names? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just look at the 4 hour, because we know most of the market had a strong reaction, but because we're fading this pre-market, is anything holding up better than just the reaction from yesterday? Apple has a decent look. We did break through this downtrend over the past couple days. We're starting to hold what could potentially be a trend reversal on the 4 hour, and some of the moving averages are starting to come up. So there is some opportunity for Apple to retest recent highs, and also potentially the 200, which has acted as areas of major support and breakdown points on value, or on volume. Microsoft, let me pull it to the daily just to show what I'm looking at here. We did have a gap. We did repair that gap in the sense that we formed the gap, likely due to the volatility. So we gapped down. We pulled down to what is daily trend line support. So actually, let me zoom out. So the low of the crash, the relative low, the third test, we are holding this. And we're starting to curl back up. We did repair this gap. And what I'd like to see is, now that we repaired it, can we break through it? A lot of people respond well to the inverse head and shoulder approach here, and this is one that's actually forming fairly well with a very clear neckline. So one test, shoulder, head, second test. Now we need that third test and we need a breakout. And this would be a lot of support built over multiple weeks to indicate that this structure could hold as an area of interest for the market. Facebook, daily, looking very, very strong. Couple days ago, maybe last week, I think it was, we had talked about this tight range that Facebook could not get itself out of. We did break out of that range. We back tested, kept closing above the range, which is always a good thing. Even if you pull in to a range, you want to close above. And now we're seeing, essentially the breakout. And what's great about this breakout is we're breaking from the range, which, our target was pretty conservative at 275, double the length of the range, 255 to 265, target 275. Not only are we doing that, but we are breaking through some daily downtrend trend lines. So Facebook looking pretty good. I think communication in general looking pretty strong. This is also something that we could maybe be watching on Google. Google trapped in a little bit of a tight range, but we are seeing the bid slowly move itself higher. Buyers are stepping up more and more, and they're just running into some selling resistance right now that's slowly being chipped away. So this area here is providing some resistance, which is notable because it is where the all-time high is. If Facebook can stay strong, if the Qs can break out, all of our bullish theses can come to play, well then Google has a great opportunity to break all-time highs because it's sitting right at it. And we just have to wait and see if the market agrees with that idea. Amazon. So now we're looking at more consumer discretionaries. We did bounce from recent support. So we had multiple basically candles of interest where we saw huge inflections on Amazon. We hit here, big move higher, trending higher. Basically, we don't want to lose this area, and it can be hard to find exactly what the number is, but you can put it all the way down at the low of 2 Fridays ago, and that still shows this support being present. We had a nice candle yesterday, and we just want to see, are they going to pull it back and continue the trend? Only thing of concern is probably, this guy right here. So I think the look here is basically we know where support is. Now we need to break through resistance, and this is on a longer time frame. We're also barely breaching above the 200 on the daily. So we had a concerning look as we fell through, but all we did was find horizontal support, and now we're breaching back above. So there's a lot of, I would say, bullish theses if we can hold what is now turning into sort of a buying opportunity for some of these stocks. Tesla, also consumer discretionary. We had this strong move higher, a lot of consolidation. We broke down yesterday, and it looked as if we were going to lose this area, and then we had a very strong reaction back into the consolidation. So short term, I mean, Tesla, if you got short in this area expecting this to have follow through, you are now underwater, and you're looking to see if you need to cover your position on a breakout of, we'll just call it a 713, 715 area. So this, this range right here, it looked like it was breaking down. We're back above. They may come and retest it one more time, and that could easily break bullish. And I'm going to go ahead and bring up NVIDIA as well. It does hold some significance with market cap, but it also is a good gauge for semiconductors. Oh, bring that down. Let's do like that. Okay. So found support on the Friday lows 2 Fridays ago. Big reaction off them lows. Holding. We do have a little bit of work to do as we did consolidate for a long time in this area. But what we're seeing here is that the push higher failed. We had to come all the way back down to lower support to get a bounce. And now we're in a consolidation area that has been there for months. I think if you were not buying the dip in this perspective, and this could be seen on things like AMD, which also had a bounce. This could be seen on things like, what's another one? Avgo, Broadcom. If you were not buying this area, I would essentially be waiting for a little bit of a pullback, and then we could easily see that continue through the consolidation range. I think Avgo has a pretty good look where it's starting to break out here, and things like AMD are really just on the verge of breaking out. This is probably like more of a false breakout here, so this could easily consolidate and then move higher. But as far as market cap's concerned, I'm watching NVIDIA. It's a better gauge for myself and the SPY, and this consolidation here is what's going to be important. If we can hold the lows of the consolidation, great. If we can't, then it feels as if going back to this lower support area is going to be next in the cards. So a pullback and then really just coming to the upper side of the consolidation. So yeah, that's kind of where we sit opportunity-wise. There's also been a few notable things in McDonald's, not Walmart, and Nike. These are all consumer discretionaries. HD as well, really good push off the lows. I think overall we just saw that this reaction off the lows means that a lot of people were interested in getting these lower prices, and now they can fade it down to a support zone and use that as a launch point to break out. Especially if Amazon and Tesla are leading the way in consumer discretionaries, that could be a good thesis for this sector. So that's my time. It is now time to shift over to Carlos and Norm with the pre-market prep. My name's Jared. This has been Engineering the Markets. Best of luck today on Thursday, as we kind of see, now that we have the Fed reaction, can we hold, can we bounce, or will they simply fade it, below the point where we launched from? Want to keep that in mind today and tomorrow. So with that said, signing off. Thanks everyone, and off to Carlos and Norm.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope everyone had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing today?
Hey, good morning, buddy. Doing well. Hopefully you are too.
Excellent, excellent. So, we know yesterday you lost power, unfortunately. Hopefully that did not last too long for you.
No, it
And
was like 15, 20 minutes. It was
yeah,
just
yeah,
weird because the storm had already passed.
right.
I guess there were a lot of power lines down in the area. My house had power. It had lost power for like 5 minutes earlier in the morning. And then right in the middle of the show, my backup battery started clicking and half my stuff started going off. And then it was very strange. And I dropped mid-sentence there.
Yeah.
It came back on about 15 minutes later. So I'm guessing they were repairing something and they had to disconnect something while they did. So, no, all good. Not like
Yeah.
last time when it was 3 days and freezing.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh man, I'm telling you, this year for you down there has been short of exciting and interesting, to say the least.
We didn't
Um,
even get it bad. Prayers out to all the people in the South getting nailed by
yeah.
tornadoes yesterday and today. So,
Insane, insane. All right, guys. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Let's get to it. Let's look at what we had yesterday on our list, guys. Starting here with plug. So let's look at plug yesterday. Let's get our 5 minute in action here on our charts, and we'll go right into this area. So again, yesterday, this was a great call out by Brian. Brian is very good at calling these somewhat of what is expected after, especially such a nice run in the pre-market. So plug yesterday in the pre-market. Many of you guys took advantage of this trade, so great job there getting into the pre-market. Norm, I think you did as well
yeah,
yesterday.
I got in just on that just after that red candle you were almost pointing at like 7:10.
Okay, all right in here. Yep, yep,
Yeah,
excellent. Yep, yep, beautiful,
from under
beautiful.
34 to 35.50ish.
Yeah. So again, just trading amazing yesterday after a nice drop. Beautiful pre-market action. The volume was there, and before the market opened, we go off of YouTube, but we stay in the chat room. Obviously, Brian comes on and he mentioned it might be a sell-off on plug at the open, and exactly what it did, guys. Beautiful sell-off down here. It does pop back up again. Gives you a nice opportunity to take this for a quick pop here, quick scalp. Again, you couldn't stay long in this one because look at the drop. And by the way, you're going from 37 almost to 38.50. That is a great move for a $38 stock. Very aggressive move. You don't want to stay over. You don't want to overstay your welcome plug with the way it's trading. It's very active. But then from there, guys, very choppy. Again, a lot of stocks did not trade all that clean until 2 o'clock.
Plug was beautiful in the afternoon, man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It started that reversal about noon. I said I
Mm-hmm.
was done. I came back. I happened to be doing some work at my desk and I took a reversal on that. I got out before the policy announcement. To me, it's not worth the risk. You don't know which way
Right.
it's going to go. You
Mm-hmm.
and I
Mm-hmm.
both know that more often than not, when Jay Powell talks, the market tanks.
Right.
It was the
Right.
opposite yesterday in the afternoon. So that was a beautiful trade again. From 35.50ish all the way to 40 was a clean move.
Yeah, it was amazing. Definitely made my day yesterday because at the morning I had a rough start with a lot of chop all over the place, as we expected. With again, just things just kind of waiting to see, what was going to be released in these minutes yesterday. Now, obviously, all positive. Market responded very positive yesterday, and so did many stocks like Plug. So Plug did very nice. I took a little bit later. I didn't take on this rebound. I took it off the VWAP here, and that was nice. And again, just traded very nice. And also, I was also concerned with the 2 o'clock coming up, and also pulled out a lot of the shares before that stuff was released there. That was plug. ARC was horrible, guys. It's just pure chop here. Great for scalping if you're getting in and out very quickly. Maybe you have some opportunities, but for the most part, not my typical type of trade. Neo was actually at the open one of the cleanest trading stocks here. It did give you an aggressive pullback here, so it would have been tough to hold through this if you got into a 5-minute open range breakout, engulfing pattern here in the 5. You should have been able to take out some profits here, though. That's a big move, but it would have not lasted long because of this pullback here. It's just too aggressive. From there, if you would have added like Thor would do, or gotten back into the trade like Andrew would do, right? He'll get out and get back in when things are in play again. Look at this beautiful pop here. Just continues trading nicely. And throughout the entire day, had a great movement in overall. So Neil was pretty clean yesterday. And obviously at 2 o'clock, a lot of stuff popping up nicely with the overall market after the meeting. CCIV, again, not my tip. I usually do not watch this one. I watched it yesterday because if you remember, we had a hard time finding great stocks besides Plug. Plug was like probably like the best one with the pre-market action. It was very clean. AMC was decent, but we had a very difficult time. And you can see here, this one was just, for me, it was not clean. PLTR was horrible, guys. Again, just this stock, it's just such a hit or miss. And yesterday, you can see the up and down here, every candle overlapping the previous candle. You do get one insane breakout here, but do you trust this breakout after it's done what it's done for the last 10-15 minutes, right? It's a little tough to take that trade and trust this stock. And then after this one pop, again, goes back to its regular chop. So again, just insane. After 12 o'clock, obviously very nice there. After the meetings come out, AMC was also very choppy, guys. This is just insane. Just chop all around. So again, very tough morning. Things got better later in the day, but not many stocks did. For example, AMC did not get better. Even after the meetings, right? You got a little pop here, but did not trade well after that. So hopefully you were able to manage and survive yesterday. You know, some days you just got to survive and not trade and be patient. And yesterday could have been one of those days. All right, guys, let's get to our overall market pulse. What's going on here with the latest and greatest?
Yeah, well, as Jared mentioned, we had the Fed came out yesterday with their policy announcement. They're holding firm on this. There will be no rate hikes until 2023 is what they're seeing. They upped their forecast on GDP. They're going to continue their asset purchase program as it is currently. So that really gave a catalyst for the market to move higher yesterday. It's a little unsettling is that after what seemed like a very strong move yesterday, we couldn't break through that 324 level Jared mentioned on the Qs. And the Qs are really what's dominating a lot of the action right now. And, being unable to break that and then selling back off, we're right where we were 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. So to me, is that saying, people are looking to de-risk, aka take money out right now on these pops? So we'll have to see what happens. We're stuck in this range the last several days, particularly on the Qs, and see how it works. That having been said, we just had jobless claims numbers come out. Initial claims were 770,000 versus 700 expected, so a little bit worse. Continuing claims also a little bit worse than expected, and the Philly Fed, I think, just came out and was better than expected. So that's most of the data for today. Let's see how this market reacts this morning. Down 1.7% on the Qs right now and just about 0.7% on the SPY. SPY looks pretty weak. Looks like it wants to break through the floor there. So I'll probably sit back and see how this plays out a little bit before I jump in the water this morning.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that 100% there. Let's take a look at our gappers list this morning. Let's remove what we had yesterday here. Let's get rid of these and let's make some new rows and see what we have going on today. It's quite a bit on both sides this morning. Starting with the green side, UPST 45 million shares float. Is this thing linked? Oops, not linked here. Let's just make a quick change here. I want to link this up to our trade ideas. Here we go. Okay, perfect. Let's try that now. UPST, there, beautiful. All right, so UPST at the moment, they are up nice, 40% almost here. Not a whole lot of volume though, which is the scary part. Only 218 right now. So again, I'm concerned with that. We definitely want to see a better pre-market action. For the most part, this stock is usually trading under 3 million, under 2 million shares traded here. So again, I'm a little bit concerned with that. It's got to get a lot better. Maybe a possible. I do like the pop.
Go back to that one real quick.
Yeah, sure. UPST.
So one thing. I mean that looks, if you, on the 5. I mean the pop we're getting here looks like a low float. Yeah, you've got candles that are 50. I'm not going to count that 8 o'clock candle because that stuff's settling from yesterday too. But even if you look at other candles in there, you've got stuff spanning $1.50 or so. You've got a spread that is 50-ish cents. Mm-hmm. So that's not great. I have never traded this. That looks like low float action on and FinViz has 45 million. Mm-hmm. Or excuse me, FinViz has 50-something million and TI has 44. That is very concerning to me. Yeah. Unless that picked up in volume and had some real clean order flow, I would be scared to touch it.
Yeah, I agree 100%, guys. This is stuff that you can You could take a trade, and if that spread opens up, man, you can be really behind the 8 ball just at the beginning of the trade. And what happens is, we mentioned this before, your trade can work out, your plan can work out, but you might not survive that insane pullback with that spread. It'll put you way over your stop loss. It's just not a good situation there. The TKAT, this one is up 28% this morning. They are 3.2 million shares traded right now. Very, very active. 6.1 million shares flow. Definitely adding on our list here for a possible on the low flow side. Looking very good so far this morning. Had a big day yesterday, it looks like. TKAT. So 3.2, and then let's see how it did yesterday. So yesterday, nice, a couple of big days here for TCAT. We call it TCAT.
So this NFT craze that's going on after the people art sold last week. We started seeing a bunch of stuff the last day or two really start popping. People getting in here thinking they're NFT plays. We've seen it before. Seen it just like all the pot stocks when they started coming on. We've seen it with the EVs. Yes. People rushing into EV companies that sucked just because they might be associated with EVs. So just be careful on these too, especially at a 5 million, 6 million share float.
Absolutely, guys. I'm putting this all the way down here. Be very, very careful. Spreads about 8 cents, and not so bad for a $30 stock, but just be very careful. SINO here, 14 million. Another couple of low flow stocks coming up. SINO right now, just getting a nice pop right now. We'll give it a little time to get going. We'll throw it on here. We'll get back to it. It needs some more time to get moving there. OCG, this has been in our watch list quite a bit, in our gappers list at least. Maybe not in our watch list. This morning, they're also looking pretty interesting. It's the same thing too with TCAT. I think Jared sent us sent us a message on this one too.
Yeah, it is.
I think Brian was talking about it as well, maybe in the chat. Yep. But we'll throw it on here, guys. Also, be very, very careful, guys. I know this looks very good right now. Just again, don't just go gamble, right? Don't just go gambling on the stock. If it's in your trade book, you have a trade book, you have a strategy for this. That you have proven that it works more often than not, then go for it. But if not, don't just go there gambling. You will get lucky. There's no question about it. There'll be times where you will get lucky and make some good money. But can you do that consistently? Most likely not. U1 here. This one's not looking great right now, guys. 1.8 million, up 14.6. Pre-market, not exciting. We've seen this one before, guys. It doesn't trade very well. Their daily is horrible. I'm not going to keep it on my list today. Here's Laser. Next, this is on a 75 million shares float. What do we have here as far as the spread? Not so bad for pre-market. Pre-market action, 687,000 shares traded. Hopefully this continues to get a little bit better. I'm a little concerned with the action here right now in the pre-market. Wish it was a lot cleaner. That's why I asked how was the spread, because again, you got these big candles here with not a whole lot of volume. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's throw it on here. Maybe we can put it on our main list for now. We'll come back and see how that is traded.
Earnings this morning, by the way.
Oh, I do like that then. I do like that very much. They're daily, not great. This is a SPAC, maybe, or
scheduling? No, they're scheduled for earnings. I don't see their number here though, so I don't take that to the bank. But right, I have them scheduled. I don't know why I don't see it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think it maybe today. Okay, so I have post market here, so that usually means after hours, after the market close. So we'll see.
Maybe that's it.
Yep. AYTU 16 million. We've seen this quite a bit on here, guys. I never keep it on deck. It just doesn't trade very well, so I'm not excited.
Hey, you're
about
right.
That one.
My mistake. My notes were wrong. It is after the close.
After. Okay, perfect. JG here, another one that has been very active. I just don't like the way it trades neither. I don't like the how it moves, so I'm going to keep it off my list as well. So let's stop here and what's gapping up. Let's scroll down, see if we see anything exciting. We have CCL, Baba. Down here, let's take a look. CCL this morning, interesting, up 2.1, 1.6 million. Their pre-market not great. We've seen better, but I do like their daily. I do like that volume over 1 million shares traded. We'll put it on here. Let's see if they have a breakout in them today with things going well with reopening stuff. AMC, we heard news about them reopening a lot of theaters. So they gave us specific dates. And we're starting to see a lot more commercials now with movies coming out in March, actually, end of this month and next month. So that can get things going. So here at the moment, they are 1.8 million shares traded. I think it's worth watching. Maybe we won't keep it as a main one. This list was very bad yesterday, very choppy. Let's see if today's is going to be a little bit different. Here's Baba. Baba's been on a great move here, guys. They are up 2.1. Had a great day yesterday. If you like trading Baba, I know John, Eamon, and even Tiffany likes to trade these higher price stocks that are really good at it. But this one's definitely in play this morning. If you do like to trade this one, it's definitely one you want to add to your list today. Nice pop this morning, 2.1 with some good volume, almost 500,000 shares traded. All right, we'll stop here on the gap up. See gap down, TBIO. Let's look at the first 5. TBIO is down 27%. Let's remove some of these levels here. Pre-market action is not looking great. The volume is a little bit light. I do like the drop. I do not like the daily as much as far as volume under 1 million. So very light on volume. Again, I love this drop here. We do have shares for sure. If it can get some volume, this can be interesting. It sure can. So we'll put it on here. Daily, we're holding on a great area of support and resistance. Look at that, right to the T, guys, right here on 1817, somewhere in this area. So could be interesting. Let's see if this pre-market action can get better as we get into the pre-market here. CFRX, this one is down 13%. Horrible pre-market action, guys. Very choppy. Every candle overlapping the previous candle, and their daily looks even worse. So we'll skip on that one. And 24 million shares flow. So just slide shy of that low flow 20 million that we like to keep an eye on, close eye on. Here's Ride. Ride is down 7.6. I do like the daily this morning on Ride. We're back at this area of previous support, and we seem to be rather weak this morning, down 7.5, 894. So I do like this one today. Definitely going to keep an eye on that one. And this one does trade well. We've seen it trade pretty decent in the past. IMTE, low flow stock, 4.7. Not looking good right now. Volume is starting to pick up. Okay, had a good day yesterday as far as just this daily candle. Let's see how it actually traded. So nice breakout here at around 11. Then a gap up here. I mean, a halt to here looks like around 12 or so. So again, it's definitely a runner. You know, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this one. We'll put it on here. We'll come back to it. Let's give it some time. And then last one on the gapping down, VUZI. We looked at this one before in the past. I did not quite like it, so I'm going to skip on it. Let's look at Max R. Max R this morning down 5%, 307. Daily's a little wacky here. This great area of support that we lost we went to it yesterday. We're losing it today. That could be interesting. The spread as we see it right now, about 4 cents, so not too bad. It could be interesting, but you got to be careful with this one, guys. It moves a lot. We can tell here by the prices going from 44, 46, 48. So you got some pretty big candles in here. Pretty that's a dollar and almost $1.20 drop here in a matter of minutes. So you got to be very careful. But I do like the daily a bit here on this one. 59 million shares float. Let's put that one at least as a possible. We'll come back and take a look at it. Pre-market action. If we can continue to get volume, we're doing pretty good here as far as the pre-market action. These candles are building up pretty nice. Let's hope that continues into the market open. All right, let's stop here. Norm, what do you like this morning so far?
I'm still looking. I'll holler in while you go through the others if I see anything.
Absolutely. All right, guys, let's get started here. Let's start with Rubber Toe Ride. All right, we already have that one actually. So Rubber Toe is giving us Ride. Yeah, I think Ride looks very good this morning, guys. Great volume, down 7.4. Is there any news? Looks like we're starting to get a volume right around 825. Good volume there. So maybe there's got to be some kind of catalyst, hopefully. Next, Sky Trader is giving us RAREC. This one was brutal after the market opened yesterday, guys. Did not trade well. Let me show you that if you're just joining us. If you missed our recap, again, just very choppy. This is our 5 minute here. Again, if you're scalping in the 1 minute and you get a good entry, you could scalp almost anything. Entry is the key, right, when it comes to scalping. But if you're looking at a bigger time for like a 5 minute, you're looking for certain strategies. You did not get them on AREC. So I'm concerned that we might see that today. Yesterday's pre-market action, though, was amazing. Today's pre-market actions got great volume. They're already up 8.3 today. So it could be interesting if you like that type of trading. I'm going to put it on here as a possible, but I know I won't watch it, but we'll take a look at it for you guys. Jimmy is giving us, I'll take the first two from you. AMC and CCO I do have, so I'll take the next one from you. EBON. Let's see what we have here. EBON this morning up 3.7, 903,000 shares traded. Now, I usually take this one off my list. It looks like it had a couple of good days in here. Yesterday, we can't go too much by it because a lot of stuff was choppy yesterday before 2 o'clock. And we can see here 2 o'clock, that turned out pretty nice. Let's see the day before. How is that trading? Day before, we have some pretty nice ranges on here. Without seeing how the price action was, this does look like gave a couple of breakout opportunities, high of the day here, and a beautiful run towards the top there. So that could be interesting. Nice level of resistance at 12. Yeah, you know, this could be a maybe. This could be a maybe. EOBN. We'll put that on there. All right, heading on down, Apple. Let's take a look there. Edwin is giving us Apple this morning. Apple's good. Apple's down 1.6. I think this is a good overall market type play, guys. You know, if the Qs and the SPYs dropping, you can definitely trade Apple. Right now, they got great volume, down 1.6. They're, again, just like Norm was mentioning earlier, the SPY, the Q has been stuck within this range. Apple's doing the same thing. They don't have their own unique catalyst this morning. But if the SPY and the Qs do drop here, you know, we have some pretty good levels we can get to on Apple. So yeah, we can definitely watch Apple. I think that's good. NKLA, a rumor of a partner selling half of their stock there.
They've got somebody involved, a big player selling half their stake in it.
That is really, really good. I'll definitely.
Sorry, I didn't hop in. I missed it when we were talking earlier.
No, all good, man. I'll definitely like that negative catalyst here on this one. Again, this stock has taken a huge hit. You know, we thought it was going to be the next best thing since sliced bread, but it's the negative news on this one has not been good for it at all, obviously. Right now, pre-market action is a little flat at the moment, but they are down 3.7. We do have some levels down here that we can get to. We'll add that on there. Let's see if that continues to pick up. NKLA is good at getting volume, so we'll see if that traffic does show up later. Laser we do have, that is good. Ride is on the list. Yeah, I do like Ride a lot this morning, guys. I do like this drop. I like what I'm seeing here. So what do we have? Has SEC Pro. Okay, that's a good catalyst for us to take a look at, see how that's going to trade at the open. Let's take a look at U1. I didn't keep U1 on, guys.
Which one?
On Ride.
Yeah. Was it Ride? It's the one that Hindenburg came out and smeared the other day. The SEC's looking into what the allegations were. They wanted some info.
All right, so we'll see how that shake things one way or the other for Ride here. But right now, I definitely like their daily, guys, and they're getting some good volume here as well. Heading down, we did look at U1. Again, I just, based on everything else I have here, this one's a little bit tricky. I usually do not keep it on my list, so I'm going to keep it off for now today as well. Heading down to MU. What do we have there? MU this morning. You know, MU is down 1.6. I'm on the fence on this one. I know a couple of people were watching it the other day. And again, yesterday, everything kind of had a nice day yesterday. I'm on the fence on it. I think we have other stocks that if you're looking to trade something with like the tech companies, you know, you have Apple, which is getting the volume. I think that's going to be my tech play today. I think this has a better liquidity. And now MU can get the volume, and we know MU very well. So if we see it in our scanners, we can, you know, hop into and see what's going on. Or hopefully a lot of you guys who watch that one and, you know, throw it out to us in the chat room. This is a great thing about being part of the community. You guys see something, you throw it out there, and then we can take advantage of it, hopefully. Here's a JP Morgan. So the banks just continue to just chop around here, again, at their recent highs, right? So I'm not sure if it's all-time highs, but they're definitely up there. Here's a JP Morgan doing pretty good as far as their daily pre-market action is not great, but that's okay. These stocks don't tend not to get good pre-market action, so they just seem just kind of be slowly just getting higher here. West Fargo as well, not a whole lot going on there, but they are up again 1.1, just slamming against that recent high from yesterday and previous days. So I don't see anything too explosive right now on these guys, so I'm not going to watch them for the breakout.
I want to clarify something real quick since we're going through these. So Ride was the one. So, okay, the Ride CEO was just on CNBC. Kramer's screaming about it right now. Thanks, D. Miles. So Ride was the one that Hindenburg came out with a hit piece on. The SEC is looking into some of the accusations made in that. Plug did, in fact, announce, yesterday or the day before, that they didn't have, that there's nothing about the SEC looking into them. They said they had some accounting mistakes that needed to be corrected 2018, 2019 to current. So just clarification on that.
Yeah, all right, that makes sense. Yeah, that's why we saw that big drop on Plug yesterday, which was nice for us there. So, all right, perfect. So we'll see what Ride does. Ride's getting some insane volume at the moment. Again, if you're going to trade this in the pre-market, guys, be very careful. All right, let's stop here. Let's take a look over on our YouTube chat, guys. So with JP Morgan, we do have Rye, we do have Plug. Do we have Plug? No, we did not look at Plug. I think Plug can be a decent one again today. 791,000 shares traded. It treated us very nice yesterday, especially after the open. Definitely want to take a look at that one today, see what's happening there. Had a great pre-market action yesterday. A lot of traders took that one also. Yeah, I think Plug is a good one today for a second play here, for second day play if possible. Apple we do have on deck. I think it's a good one to watch. Let's take a look here. Plug is good. Roblox, RBLX. What do we have here? Not a whole lot going on for as far as a day trade at the moment. Pretty quiet as far as volume. But guys, I traded this a couple of days ago.
That thing trades crazy.
Woo, yes. It is definitely a nail biter. The spread is insane. It was like 50 cents. Thankfully, I got a great entry and it popped up quick, but I was still at break even. You know, it's just the spread was horrible and it can move. So I don't know if this one's going to be a great intraday type trading stock just now. We got to wait for it to settle down. And we talked about this before, Norm, right? Usually these IPOs want to see where the price is going to be at. It could get better. But if it's still trading the way it was a couple of days ago, I'm not going to be touching it. And looking at this action from yesterday, it looks like it still is. I mean, look at these candles, guys. You know, these are very wild. Look at the wicks. You're getting crazy pullbacks here. So you can be good here for an opening range breakout or a pop of the high of day. But how do you hold through a 70 cents pullback, right? To get this move. It's just I don't. That's not the way we trade here. All right, so careful with that one, guys. Be very, very careful. All right, Ali, you gave us a few. I'm going to take one that probably we haven't looked at. ZKIN. I'll take that one. ZKIN is another one that's popping up here. So 247,000 shares traded. The day looks interesting on this one. I wish we had a little bit more volume. What is the float? Let's check. SKIN. 9 million. So we'll throw it down here because I know there's a couple on here that are not looking great that we can drop off this list. So we'll put ZKIN down there. All right, what else do we have, guys? DKNG. DKNG's, I have not been watching this one. Doesn't look great right now, pre-market wise. Great day yesterday. Daily's interesting, right? We keep dropping down, but still find a way to come back to the 70, 80, right? So hopefully a breakout coming out to test some of these levels here. Doesn't mean that's going to happen today, but some way, somehow we keep coming back up to this level. So that's a good sign. This thing does not want to sell off. So right now, pre-market wise for our market open, I don't see anything great at the moment. Now DKNG, we know that the pre-market is not great, so you really have to look at the market open, see how the volume is coming in, how it's trading. So for that reason, I'm not going to have it on my list. If it hits the scanners or somebody calls it out in the chat, we can definitely take a look at it. All right, what do we have here? A few more, guys. SFED. What is this? SFED. More of a penny stock type stock, so I'm gonna skip on this one, guys. And the volume is very light for this. You want to see it's a lot higher as well, so just be mindful of that. WOOF. What do we have here? Woof. The spread is not great on a $25 stock at the moment, and the volume is very light. That's why you're getting that very big spread. So be careful. This is very similar to what we just talked about. What was that one? UPST. Not as bad, right? UPST is a little bit worse, but it's in that same arena. Woof, right?
Woof is a fairly recent IPO.
I see that. Yeah, yeah.
And this is, it's Petco. I have not traded it yet. I did look at it this morning. I didn't bring it up because of what you were talking about. I want to see what it trades like intraday before I'm going to really consider something like that. So,
yeah, it looks good this morning, guys. But I'm just concerned with such the big move right now, such light volume. If this was 500, 600, 700, even a million would have been great, because that means you got liquidity, you got a tight spread there. I'm not seeing that right now. So, but again, that could change the market open. So, you know, it could be a good one to very, very weak possible. Just to, like you said, Norm, just to see how it trades, because we really have not seen this one on high moves here. So we'll take a close look at that. All right, guys, we're going to stop here. Let's take a look at our community event. We'll come back and fine tune this list.
All right, buddy. We've got Artie's risk control webinar posted next week. This is awesome. I can't wait to see this. Eamon's going to be talking about entries, exits, partials, and when to just give up on the damn thing. That'll be at 5 p.m. on Tuesday because of his time zone. Credas is also posted about success not defining you. Next week, we've got a town hall with Dr. Katz, 2 traders. Be talking to him, and the room will get to kind of listen in, discuss successes and failures and all that kind of stuff. If you want to participate in the member trade of the day, trade of the week, take a screenshot of your best trade of the day, mark it up, post it on Twitter. Obviously, should have entries and exits. Tag and then any commentary you can give to the strategy. Tag at Bearable Traders, at Mike B_BBT, and at NormBBT. Also use the hashtags BBT Family, Day Trading, and Stock Market. We'll announce the winner for each day in the closing bell show on Twitter. And then the trade of the week will be selected from all those trades of the day, and that'll be announced on Monday, closing bell show on Twitter. If you're watching on YouTube and would like to give the room a try, use the promo code PREMARKET24 to get a discount off the intro membership. That's 7 calendar days, 5 trading days in the room. Doesn't auto-renew or turn into any other kind of membership. Also gives you access to Carlos's onboarding class live every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, and Kyle's new technology class that immediately follows that on Monday nights. If you're looking to either upgrade your membership or become a elite member, use the promo code LUCK40 to get 40% off your annual elite membership.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Norm. All right, guys, let's get to it. Let's do some levels here, starting with, well, first, let's kind of see what we have here, what we're going to keep. Laser, very active, guys, looking good this morning. Pre-market-wise, day looks good as well, up 13%, so that's nice. CCL could be very good, actually. We'll keep that on here. AMC's okay, also very active, 2.2 million. I do like the daily on AMC. Let's get rid of some of these levels here. We'll replace them if we have to. But here we go. We got a nice daily on AMC as well for possible breakouts. Things continue to reopen. BABA is great too, guys. We'll do levels for that. RAI continues to drop here. That is nice. Apple, I'm going to move Apple down. It's a good one, don't get me wrong. But Apple's going to be a nice one for me depending on how the overall market trades. So I want to see the market move one way or the other. They don't really have their own catalyst, but if the market trends heavily in one direction, Apple could be a nice one. NKLA moving sideways here. This could be a good possible as well because it might just not do anything, right? We got some negative news on this thing today. It's just been hammered already quite a bit. So how much more can this thing actually drop? It could be a little bit concerning here. If this thing was doing well and you got some negative news, nice. We probably get a nice gap down and some room to run down. But again, we've been beaten up quite a bit already here. So I'm going to put it down as a possible just in case we don't get a whole lot of movement there. Plug is good. I do like this one for a second day play here. Yeah, I think we had a very, very good list. Secondary list, NKLA is good. Apple, market play there. EBON is good. Max R. I like the daily on Max R on this one here. TBIO is a nice drop as well. These are some pretty good possibles. UPTS, the spread is just insane on this. I'm gonna get this off our list. We don't have shares for sure on it neither. Let's get rid of that. ARCE was horrible yesterday. I think it's gonna be horrible today too. That's just my personal opinion, guys. That's the reason I'm gonna take it off here. I'd rather keep Wolf on here and see how that is going to trade. But see this drop here? This drop out of nowhere with barely any volume. This is the stuff that I'm talking about with these type of stocks that are not getting great volume. So somebody dropped what? 27,000 shares. Anybody could do that. And you're dropping here, what is this, 30 cents? That's the concerning part on this one. Hopefully it gets better if the market open. If not something you want to be keeping a close eye on. IMTE, this one, let's see what's on here. IMTE, SINO. SINO looks good. Let's get rid of IMTE, excuse me. SINO looks good there. Great volume, 4.6. That's nice. TTAC is just taking off. OCGN as well. And Eskin is not doing all that great. Out of these low flow stocks, I like the first three. I think these three here are very, very nice this morning. Again, very, very careful, guys, as we get into this new madness here. What is this? Tankung Art, Encino Global Shipping, and Oriental Culture Holding, whatever. Okay, cool. All right, let's do some levels, guys. I like our list already here towards the top. We have Laser. Careful on this one, guys. This is can move quite a bit. 810,000 shares traded so far. High of the pre-market, 32.59. And this daily is very choppy, but you can see here this 32.59 has had a couple of great touches on here overall. Great area support, great area resistance, a couple of day opening and closing right at that target. So you definitely want to have that on there. No coincidence why that is your pre-market high this morning. Now, this is what happens when you have such a choppy daily, right? You have a hard time finding certain levels. So let's take a look here. This is one, right? Clearly 36.03. That's a nice one there. And then you have another one in here at 40.10, right? Very clean area of resistance at 40.10. In between here, you have a couple in here, but again, you have to really dig in to find a good spot. I'm not going to do that in here, but again, you can go in here and see which one has a lot of touches. For right now, we got the three main ones, 40.10, 36.03, and 32.59. Your pre-market high are clearly very good levels there. And where your price action is sitting at right now, this 31, if you see that red line on there, you are getting an area of a level there support also. So I am going to mark that down. I know the price action is right on it at the moment. Let's see if it's going to go up or down here. Towards the bottom, guys, highs and lows from the last two trading days, you're pretty much covered there. Here is CCL. I like the daily on CCL. If we can get an explosive move up here, pre-market high at the moment, 29.75, and that's all I'm really going to mark down on CCL. Towards the bottom, highs and lows of the last two trading days. I would love a breakout above 30 here, get a nice little pop going into make a new most recent high here over the last couple of days that we've been kind of trucking up here. So that'll be nice. That's what I'll be looking for on CCL. Same thing on AMC, guys. Their daily looks very nice. So we kind of looking very strong at the moment, up 4.4, pre-market high 14.25. Level's going to go there, and another level off the daily at 14.48. So that's the good stuff there. Then here, as we've been looking at before, we have this madness of the cup of the days here. So we have 15.98, almost 16, and 17.30 are some good levels. Remember, guys, it's a $14 stock. You know, if you're getting a 50 cents move, that is very good for a stock that's sitting at $14, right? Don't expect this thing to go to 17, 16, 18, right? It can happen, yes. If you're getting these great moves, make sure you're putting some in your pocket for sure. Especially on AMC, you know how this thing can drop very fast. BABA here, guys, looking good, up 2.2 this morning. High of the pre-market sitting at 240.50. Great level of resistance there, so you can see prior support. Above that, you have a minor area. This is not great. 242.70. It is not a 240.35. 240.35. You can see how many touches we have here. It was support, then later becomes resistance, and a great change in direction, heading back down to this great level. Looks like we're putting in almost a double bottom here, 225. A nice double bottom here on BABA. So plenty of levels towards the bottom. You have highs and lows from the last two trading days and the previous day close. Great pre-market action for them this morning and really good volume, 543 right now. Here's Ride. So Ride made a new low a couple of minutes ago, down to 1370. So now they're lower than this point here. I believe they are, or they're right to it. Wow, they are right to the T, guys. 1370 low of the pre-market is the low from a couple of days ago. Again, they have some negative news here. SEC looking into them on a document that was put out. You know, them possibly doing something funky there. Below that, we do have 1296. This is a recent IPO. Yeah, recent IPO. So just back in the, well, not recent, but compared to everything else in the market, very recent. Here in November of last year, 1303 seems to be their all-time low. So that could be very interesting this morning. Towards the top, highs and lows from the last two trading days. This one is getting great volume, guys. 1.3 million, down 8%. And we do have shares for sure. That's looking very good this morning. Here's Plug. Plug was great yesterday in the pre-market, traded very well. A little bit of chop into the market open, but even before the FOMC minutes came out, this thing started trading very well. You saw a nice change direction there in the way the candles are trading. Low of the pre-market this morning sitting at 37.12. So let's put a level there. Towards the top, high of the pre-market over at 38.81. Again, guys, this stuff moves quite a bit. We took a trade yesterday on this. You don't have to take a lot of shares to make a good return on this. So again, make your money on the move on this one because it does move very nice. Do not load the boat on something that can move so much like this. All right, around the price action towards the bottom, we do have this 34 low from yesterday. Nice area of support, as you can see here, being tested also back on the 5th of this month. Above that, highs and lows from the last two trading days and your previous day close are taking care of you there on Plug. So, all right, we got a pretty good list, I think. Laser kind of just moving sideways at the moment, but that's got a nice little pop here. I like the daily also. Hopefully we can break out towards that pre-market high. and then some. CCL is very active, almost 2 million shares traded. We've seen better pre-market action from this one, but I like the daily, especially if we can keep trucking higher here this morning. AMC, same situation. I would love a high of day breakout here or pre-market breakout. That would be nice. BABA is looking good. As we mentioned, nice, coming off a nice double bottom. Hopefully, if anybody's swing trading, they took an entry here. They were looking at that. Ride is good and Plug is good. We got a very, very nice list. All right, let's see what our moderators lineup looks like today. I am going to bring this over here. Let me resize it so it makes sense. And here we go. Let's see if we can put this. Can you guys see that there? Make sure none of the layouts are blocking it. There we go. All right, so Peter, IPOs, GANX, VEI, Napa, and Tuya is being released today. So he'll call those out in the chat room if he's online. Eamon is looking at Neo, Fubo, PLTR, secondary list Fuel Cell, which was great a couple of days ago. West Fargo and Plug. Peter, his list, not liking much right now, but he has AMD as usual on deck. Secondary list Apple, CCL, Neo, TCAT, and also SINO. NFT plays, guys. Very careful with that stuff. This stuff is coming out very active, looks very good. Let's see how that's going to trade this morning. Tiffany's looking at Ride, Plug, Baba, Neo, and Tesla as a secondary. Dima is looking at the Qs, CCL, AMC, and Laser. And both of these ladies were on the mic yesterday for the first time in the chat room live, and it was just amazing. So they're going to be on today again, I believe, at 2 p.m. So 2 p.m. or 1 p.m. So definitely do not miss that. It's great to hear from them, and hopefully this can be a reoccurring thing because, again, a lot of great insights, and we definitely loved it. Great job, ladies. Jared here watching Laser, Ride, and Baba. Secondary list of NFT stocks, and we got two on here, SINO and TCAT this morning. Mike is looking at break of high scanners, Baba, and MU and Facebook today. So that is what we have, guys. Thank you so much. Norm, anything that we might have missed?
No.
Tonight is tonight Brian and Andrew?
Yeah, that's right,
that's
man.
Mentorship. Yes.
My days have been completely thrown off this week. So Thor is out of town. Andrew and Brian are going to be doing the mentorship session this evening. So
absolutely,
come see them. It's been a while since we've done that. Used to be what we did every other week. Was Andrew and Brian, and it's been about a year and a half, I think, since we've done that.
Yeah. I mean, we have a full list, guys. For those that don't know, or if you're new to the community. Every week there is 5 or 4 things going on throughout the week. If you can catch them live, they're recorded. But we always recommend that you go into the live environment and take advantage of that. So that is why the ladies were on yesterday. They're going to be on today covering for Thor. So we appreciate that. And then Andrew and Brian this evening. I wonder if is Thor going to have a position when he comes back? I mean, it's a lot of good stuff going on when he goes on vacation, man. I'm going to have to text him and say, hey, man, you better get back quick. These people are enjoying what's happening. Thor's amazing.
No kidding.
All right, guys, take care. Trade safe over on YouTube. We're going to continue in our chat room here. Brian is up next. He's going to go over his list and what he likes. Also, do not forget, Brian sends out an email list with his swing trades opportunities. He sent one out yesterday. He also puts a video out on YouTube. So make sure you follow him. In our website, you can sign up for swing trading alerts. Take advantage of that. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, and we will see you guys tomorrow or tonight. Take care, guys.
Take care, guys. Trade safe.